Stay tuned at the end of this episode. There'll be some bonus content.
We all love bonus content. Disclaimer. This week's episode may have a bit of sensitive topic for some. Please journey at your own peril.
Welcome back to Random Witchcraft with your hosts, Vix.
And Callie, word up, people.
Today we have a fun little topic.
Well, fun, and it coincides with the fact that I brought you back.
Maybe.
Well, at least I didn't ritualistically, cannibalize you.
Well, you could have. They would never know.
Well, true. But then, it'd leave me to do all the editing and, well, even though I know Santa Muerte has my back and, well...
It's just a little necromancy.
A muck of necromancy. Well, that's how Zompocalypse started, but that's beside the point. But no, we are talking about Santa Muerte.
We're diving into the deep world of Santa Muerte.
Yes, one of my deities, and it made me chuckle to find out a couple of things that we're going to get into. But
who is Santa Muerte? Santa Muerte, or Holy Death, is the folk saint who is believed to be feminine embodiment of death itself.
She comes from Mexico. Well, I want to say them come from Mexico because there's a whole lot of people that identify Santa Muerte as part of the LGBT community as a saint.
Yep.
So they have, a bunch of devotees ranging from all over the place. It can, lots of people have said that, certain people out of Santa Muerte are cults.
Yeah.
Others are just... The devotees of Santa Muerte are very close practice.
And they tend to be of the fringes, not of the mainstream.
No. Well, it only got mainstream because of recent activities, and we'll dive into it a little bit more, but that is who Santa Muerte is. She is among the Catholic of many saints that don't get recognized by the church, but are of practice of old.
Very folk, very...
indigenous.
Yes. Santa Muerte does have power over everything that can be touched by death and decay, which gives them an incredibly broad scope of influence.
Since fortunes come so easily to the devotees of Santa Muerte, they, end up asking her full-heartedly for anything. Her devotees get a quick turnaround when they ask from their heart.
Yeah. Santa Muerte's powers can cure illnesses and addiction, prosperity, untangles legal problems.
Yeah, untangles.
Oh, yeah. I guess I can't read.
Yes, she untangles legal problems. Like I said, she is they are the type of saint or deity that if you ask from your heart, grant it.
They do empower strength and creativity.
Yes, and they're not... Exclusivity doesn't stop them from anything. You want it, and you are one of her devotees, she'll grant it to you.
It is not an exhaustive list of the powers, but it is believed that they will act to full capabilities of their powers to make their devotees manifestations.
Yes, and because it is deeply ingrained within us, many of us, to openly deny what we really want and are afraid of being viewed as greedy or cynical. This is why Santa Muerte has a turnaround of, if you ask from your heart, it doesn't matter. You want it, she'll give it to you. Because to her or to them, they don't see it as something that you can take with you into the afterlife.
Yeah, because there assigns no moral weight to any kind of request. Her response also extends to using them to harm other people.
This is another reason why there's a destructive side to Santa Muerte that a lot of the U.S. and Mexican military have a fear of.
Yeah, the Bureau of Investigation labels Santa Muerte as a narco saint.
Which is funny because narco saints usually, you wouldn't think Santa Muerte. You would think Malverde. He's a narco saint, but not really famous either.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
No, it's just a little... But they do fear the fact that if a U.S. or Mexican military ending up coming up on a crime scene, and there is a statue of Santa Muerte, they fear of what they're going to find in that cartel compound or home.
Yeah, the U.S. and Mexican military explained the fear of the Santa Muerte cults, and thus specifically target them for eradication.
Because of that, military and they eradicate them because of the fact that some of Santa Muerte's cults have used her powers to hide their killings.
Yep. Even if the authorities do not believe in Santa Muerte, they're forced to respect their power.
And because they're forced to respect her power, and it's become a lot more notified and glorified that she's come out in several different shows, like in Breaking Bad, in the No Mas episode, and in American Horror Story, Criminal Minds, Dexter.
Some of Santa Muerte cults have been accused of engaging in ritual cannibalism.
You see, this is why I didn't, ritualize you and eat you.
Well, if you think about it...
Cannibalism is the oldest form of, sacrifice.
No, I'm talking about gay men cannibalize people all the time. They eat them while they're alive. And make them feel alive.
Well, then they also swallow tons of babies, too, so, hey.
Yeah. Best abortion ever.
Terrible. Frankly, terrible. But, the first ever public shrine for Santa Muerte has been in Tepito, Mexico, in 2001. It is the first shrine and temple, which also ends up getting the most flack from the Mexican government. They actually have shut down the shrine, burned the shrine a couple of times.
Yeah. As Santa Muerte has become inextricably linked to many violent slings conducted to fuel black magic, led people to condemn them as a satanic figure.
Yeah, it's not known But you would think that the most satanic figure they have in Mexico, and they would end up stopping, would not be the Santa Muerte temple, but the actual Lucifer temple they have.
Well, Luciferianism is kind of...
But you're talking to a bunch of Catholics down there that are...
more broadly known and also more protected, and they're probably more afraid of them.
The funny thing is, the Lucifer temple is an actual temple that Catholics go into and have Sunday Mass there.
Makes sense. And a whole side note, the Santa Muerte festival is in November and is most commonly known as the Day of the Dead.
Yes, everyone believes that the Day of the Dead is on November 2nd. November 2nd, yes, is the official Day of the Dead, and it's All Saints' Day in the Catholic religion. But her festival actually starts on November 1st, which is on what they call Los Días de los Inocentes, which means the Day of the Innocents. It starts off with all the children. She gathers all the children from the other side to come visit their parents on November 1st. Hence the reason why you end up putting the marigolds out, the altar, and you put out their favorite things, whether it be their favorite toy, food, liquor, whatever this person that you are putting on the Day of the Dead for, on the altar, on the ofrenda, is what Santa Muerte makes a spiritual form of that, so they can take it with them back to the other side, so that they know that they are known that they're loved. And when she brings the children, it is a form of letting the children be close to the parents that they miss, and the parents get a sense of they weren't able to raise them, but they know that they are protected. And then it's the Day of the Dead, which is for everybody, the grown-ups, the children, the teenagers, the grandparents that passed away, that come and are ferried from the other side to this side. It's like in Coco.
Yeah. The whole time you were talking, I was picturing Coco.
Yes, like in Coco. And then on the third day, which is the last day, is the day that the ones that follow their instructions on leaving at midnight on the 2nd, but they're, rebels, is the day that you end up cleansing the ofrenda space, because usually it's in your home or in a room. You cleanse that space, and you make sure that you get rid of everything that's in there, except the plates that you put the food on, because you have to use the same plates over and over for the ofrenda. But you throw away the food, or you give it to the animals outside so they can eat it, because the alebrijes need food too, which are the animal spirits that help ferry kids, the adults, onto this world. And they need a reward too, so you feed the corporeal animals, all of them. And that is their festival. Even though the Catholic Church does not recognize Santa Muerte as a saint, she is an indigenous saint, someone that, a lot of indigenous Mexican, Latin American have, grown up with.
So she might have actually predated Catholicism in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually very common with a lot of deities.
It is.
The Hecate and Nyx.
Yeah. How much information is there of Nyx?
Yeah, there's a lot that is missing in a lot of the stories.
There's a lot that's missing on Lilith.
Our favorite red-haired demon.
Yes.
The mother of demons. The original sin.
Of course, the original feminine power. But that's why a lot of people go, oh, it's only one day. No, if you grew up with the culture of the Day of the Dead, you know that you start making your ofrenda 5 days before the first.
And for all the goths out there, every day is Halloween.
Yeah.
Sometimes we look like death when we don't have our coffee or tea.
I haven't had coffee in forever. Why are you bringing that?
Or vodka. Can't forget the vodka.
I might actually end up leaving him dead, leaving Vix dead next time.
Maybe.
But, there's other things that, end up being part of Santa Muerte. Like, we have a couple of names that are commonly known, uncommon, but some names that are used by many of the devotees.
Well, like Holy Death, the literal translation of Santa Muerte in English is Holy Death. Our Lady of Holy Death. Some believe that a strong relationship exists between Santa Muerte and the Virgin Mary. This title is a play on the name of one of the most popular versions of the Virgin Mary, named Our Lady of Guadalupe. Got Pretty Girl. Santa Muerte's natural vibrancy is sometimes expressed through a girlish attitude.
Yeah.
She is often called pretty, amongst other things, to flatter and impress her. Queen of Death, Saint of Death. These two popular titles subtly imply the great overarching power that Santa Muerte possesses, as even the official Catholic saints overseeing death only manage steps in the process of dying, not the entire experience. The saint of last resort, because so many people find calling on death to be an act of desperation, Santa Muerte is sometimes called the saint of last resort. You got Señora de la Noche.
Lady of the Night.
Yes, Santa Muerte is thought to be the patron of those who work at night and are at increased risk of violence and death for it. Got the Skeletal Lady, Skeletal Saint, Skinny Girl.
La Flaca.
Many titles of Santa Muerte refer to her thin and skeletal appearance. Sister/Mother Death, Bone Mother. These popular terms usually refer to the gentler and more caring faces of Santa Muerte. Got the White Sister, Lady, Mother. These terms that call Santa Muerte white do not refer to her actual color, but to the states of newness and purity that she can create instead.
Mm-hmm.
That was a mouthful.
You're saying it. But it becomes where some of these names are given to, like, when you say sister death, hermana o niña bonita, it's because, or for the younger devotees, ones that grew up with Santa Muerte, they don't want them afraid of what power she beholds. They want them to see her in the light of, if you ask, she'll help you change. That's why she's been known to cure illness, addiction, mental instability. Not a word.
Well.
But it's just little things like that. She does end up going to the fact of, she has a rosary that you do, which is called a rosario or novena, different rosaries ending up for different things. Ah. Most likely, most of her rosary is made for when you, ending up, someone dies, a marriage,
Some of the notes on traditional novenas. Morning novenas are often recited in anticipation of a burial. This was the original purpose of novenas, and they are still frequently said today. The second type of novena is said to in preparation of a religious holiday, a sacrament such as marriage, or a similar spiritual event. A novena honoring a particular saint leading up to that saint's feast day is a common novena rite. The purpose of this kind of novena is to prepare the soul for that spiritual event. The third type of novena is said for the remission of sins or acts of penance. These novenas are used for contrition as well as to try to stop bad habits such as smoking or drinking. The fourth kind of novena, and by far the most popular, is the intercessory novena, said to petition God or other spiritual powers for intervention, signs, or other help. These kinds of novenas are said for every reason imaginable and to every kind of spirit imaginable. Remember, the Catholic list of saints includes patrons for just about everything. Now we move on to
offerings. Things that she likes to have on her altar or when you're dedicating a novena to her.
One thing that most of us like, that they, them
love.
Alcohol.
She's an alcoholic. Loves, but it's a certain way that you have to do it. Some people leave a shot glass full of liquor. That's one way of doing it. Others believe that the offering is better done if you take the sip of liquor and spray it towards her altar. Careful not spitting. Let's not spit on Santa Muerte.
That sounds very like Santeria voodoo.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is chocolate.
Yes. Chocolate. Actually, dark chocolate is the main thing. But whatever chocolate you feel like. But chocolate because it wasn't something the Aztecs would give.
Next you have copal incense. I actually love that smell too.
Mm-hmm. And marigolds, obviously.
What person doesn't love to get flowers?
Right.
And of course, money. Because who doesn't like money?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, even the Aztecs believed of sending money with their dead.
And
Roman, the
Greek.
2 coins.
Greek.
Yeah.
The coins over the eyes to pay the ferryman to take them to the other side.
Yep.
Rosemary.
Yes, rosemary.
And we're not referring to the
baby.
Rosemary.
I thought you were Rosemary's baby.
I am not Adrian.
Are you sure?
And yes, I know the name of Rosemary's baby.
A lot of people don't.
And tobacco.
A lot of deities love tobacco.
Yes, they do.
It's because tobacco was once a sign of wealth.
And a spiritual.
Yeah.
Used in spiritual work.
Well,
It still is.
It still is. Peyote.
That is not tobacco. That is a cactus.
Well, peyote and tobacco are mixed together for spiritual journeys because a lot of people couldn't.
Well, this is one that I'm not completely sure if it's a difference. If there's a difference.
There is a difference.
Syrian rue. Syrian rue is not the same herb as common rue, or goat's rue. Common rue is a popular and well-known magical plant called the queen of herbs because it has powerful cleansing and protective properties. Goat's rue is popular because it stimulates milk production in breastfeeding women and reduces insulin resistance, which improves the symptoms of diabetes. Syrian rue is very different from these other two plants. Syrian rue is not actually a member of the rue family. It is a Central Asian plant species that only superficially resembles some rue varieties. The most common use of Syrian rue is as a powerful protective herb, particularly against harmful spirits. Interesting.
The more you know, huh? But
yeah, I definitely learned quite a bit about rue on that one.
Like, at first I was like, wait, no. There's only like 2 types, and then I went and looked it up. Yeah, it does resemble some of the rues that, we're most commonly used to.
Yeah, I'm guessing that I do not own
No.
Syrian rue.
No, you don't, but we have seen it.
Have we?
At the little botanica that we went to last time, we saw it, but it was just labeled as regular rue.
It might have been regular rue.
No. Because it had the little purple markings on the edge of it, and that is Syrian rue.
Oh, interesting.
But we are going to end up giving a couple of prayers
in our next little segment.
For Santa Muerte. And hopefully you'll enjoy this little segment of, us giving you small little spells or prayers that you can end up, working with.
Yes. So, till our next little segment. In about 2 seconds. Here's a little bonus for this week's episode. We have a few prayers to Santa Muerte. We'll start off with the Wednesday prayer to Santa Muerte. O Santa Muerte, who is with us every day, our sacred protector, bless us this Wednesday. Grant us this Wednesday your hope, your golden globe. We want to interlope. Your hopeful embrace with your golden globe. I hope from God that never says nope. O Santa Muerte in yellow, Lady of Wednesday, be with us from day to day. Amen.
Santa Muerte, Godmother of Women. Godmother of Women, O Madrina, bless all women, that they belong to heaven. Protect them from harm. Great Valderona. Bless all women who love and care. Do not abandon them. Our dear Patrona. Protect our women who are good and fair. Our women who believe in you. Our great grand Patrona. Amen.
Santa Muerte, Godmother of Men. Santa Muerte, Godmother of Men. Godmother of Men, O sacred Madrina. Bless all men that they belong to heaven. Protect them from harm. Our great Fedora. Bless all men who work and provide. Do not abandon them, our dear protector. Pectora. protect our men who in God abide, our men who believe you, our Gran Patrona. Amen.
A prayer for emotional healing. Santa Muerte, my pure Lady White, Mother of Mercy and Righter of Wrongs, I ask for your blessing and your aid. Please heal my heart and soothe my conscience, cleansing me of my guilt and my past sins. Lift from me the weight of past transgressions and grant me your wisdom so I don't repeat their mistakes. May you cleanse me of my doubts and fears and plant within me seeds of mercy, insight, and love. Santa Muerte, I believe in and rely upon your compassion, mercy, and power. Please bless me and aid me now. Amen, or so mote it be.
Just one more thing before we sign off for the day. If you would like to send us any comments, concerns, or any questions, or if you would like to support this podcast, or for any future endeavors, click the links below. Thank you. This has been Random Witchcraft with your host, Vix.
And Callie.
Till next week. Bye for now.
Au revoir.